That's heel Seth Rollins. That doesn't care about being likable. It's no cackle, no laugh, because he was dead serious with CM Punk. I enjoyed the hell out of that segment too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, to me, that opening segment was my second, because to your point, Hood, about the slow build, we've talked a lot about, like, what's going to be at Mania. You're always looking ahead to Mania, and you didn't really know where Punk was going to be. Then we see him as the fifth man. We're like, all right, Punk Roman, that could be fun. But then you see that segment, and you're like, oh, no, I want to see Punk Rollins again now. And that opening segment, it wasn't just filler, which a lot of times the opening Raw is. It's just promo parade, this guy, that guy, tag team main event, will they coexist? Like, there were so many different things to come off of that. We're like, oh, what are we getting now? And there's so many different ways they can go on the path to Mania that they've got me right now.
Well, and okay, Sammy Seth. I mean, we got to see that at the end of the show because, and to kind of an unsatisfying finish, sure. I would say. But, it wasn't going to be a 5-star classic on Monday Night Raw. If they're going to give, us a full Seth Sammy event that's going to be behind a paywall somewhere, probably on Peacock for one of their PLEs. But I enjoyed that part of it as well, because the thing about Seth, it wasn't just the Seth Punk portion, which Punk's retort of, man, you've been thinking about me for 6 months. I haven't thought about you at all. I love that retort because again, it's true to the motivations that CM Punk has laid out. He's trying to leave behind all these, personal feuds. He wants money and he wants to win championships. And the reason why Seth Rollins was in his sights before is because Seth Rollins was champion. He was the world heavyweight champion. Hasn't been that for a handful of months now, so he doesn't think about Seth Rollins. So I really enjoyed that part. But then Seth completely tearing down Sammy and kind of having some of the same conversations slightly twisted that we see with KO and Cody Rhodes over on SmackDown again. And that's another portion. That's another tentacle that can eventually get dragged in. It just seems like so many things in WWE are all interconnected. And that's what makes Raw, and the 2 hours helps, but that's what makes 2 hours fly by.
No question about that. And so because of what we talked about with that opening segment with CM Punk, guys, you will not believe that I saw CM Punk in the Indies just control a whole room, right? I used to go pay to see him, and he would take his fist and talk into his fist. Didn't have a mic. He would just talk. And people would be quiet to listen to him in front of a room of 300 people and just talk into his fist, saying, this is my microphone. You can't take my microphone away. Like, how bizarre is that, right? But it just shows you that in our lifetime, to me, CM Punk is a top 10 promo. Because look at what happened. Look what happened on Monday. He pointed to a corner of the arena without a sign.
Right.
I loved it. I loved it.
Because you know what I'm thinking? I'm like, is there going to be a curtain come down on a banner? Like, is the curtain going to go up or down? Like, it's a WrestleMania banner up there. He just pointed to a corner of the arena, and people are craning their neck looking like, is there a WrestleMania banner up there? No. He's just trying to capture the audience saying, my dream is to point at that sign and say, I'm going to be in the main event of WrestleMania. He just captured the audience. So he set the tone with Edge for Seth Rollins to come out. And then the show went from there, but it started with a CM Punk promo. What a surprise.
He set the tone for the next 5-6 months, which is the incredible part. Like, the reason there's no sign yet is we're not even close to Mania. But that point and that standing on the turnbuckle is what hooked us to now we're like, well, is it this main event or is it that main event? Who are you going to put in? Like, they have so many options right now, which I wouldn't have said 2 weeks ago even.
It's because WrestleMania is the Super Bowl. I mean, again, it makes it a little bit more... Again, it's a risk creatively to be like this far out to be starting to book WrestleMania, right? But we do it when we talk sports in every other way, right? Like we're talking about the Packers today as they get ready to take on the Lions, as in, okay, well, I mean, if they win today, are they really Super Bowl contenders? Are they not Super Bowl contenders? And these are conversations that you have throughout the course of any sport and any season of ultimately getting toward that end goal. And WrestleMania is that Super Bowl, and winning the Super Bowl for CM Punk is main eventing Mania. That's what he has been. I mean, that was a goal of his a decade ago when we last saw him in WWE that he never got to, experience, even though he had the match against The Undertaker, even though he was champion going into one of those WrestleManias and holding that WWE championship. He didn't get to main events. And oh, by the way, if The Rock ever does come back, you can fold The Rock into all of that again as well, because The Rock is a big reason why CM Punk did not main event a decade ago. It's Triple H has really done such an incredible job. Again, not everything's a home run, but I mean, the way that he is folding and making everything connected is one of my favorite things that he's done in WWE.
Well, to me, that's the ultimate testament, like comparing it to the NFL where, Thursday Night Football, the opening week of the season, like the Ravens lose to the Chiefs and we're talking about the Super Bowl. It's like, oh, does this mean they're not going to win the Super Bowl in February? The fact that we can look that far ahead with WWE and compare it to the pro sports, that's the ultimate testament to Triple H right now.
Yeah, I would ask you stop using the word testament. We're done with that in WWE.
We are?
Yeah, so it's a stop using testament, New Testament. Let's just stop using that word, please.
Got it. I get that memo.
Just filler programming and like as Gabe just said, everything's at a home run. That is a ground ball to short.
Hey, they said somehow it's all tied back to Karrion Kross somehow. He predicted this.
See what I mean? It's just like it might just be a commercial. It's a test pattern. Please stop putting them on TV. Please stop doing it. Stop.
Again, somebody's got to bat 8th and 9th in this lineup, right? Like, and they're not all going to be Shohei.
You got that right. You talked about a perfect 9th slot hitter. Here's the New Testament. Ground ball to short. Oh, the first baseman time to go away. Now we go to the top of the order.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got to get back to the top of the order somehow.
I mean, it really is. God bless you for saying that, because it really is the 9th place. And I'm like, what are these guys? And what are you guys talking about? Why are you on my TV again?
Yeah.
But I tell you what, Triple H learned from the old man there. Keep believing, pal. Doesn't matter if the audience doesn't like it. Just if you believe in it, put it on TV. Oh God.